as, here we go, let's start again. Hello, good morning to everyone here on this Sunday. My name is Sandhya Kannan. I'm one of the 10 interns who is studying in Dakshin Chitra's internship on museum management. And as part of our internship, we've organized our annual exhibit, which is called Mayura, a celebration of the peacock. It's an exhibition that highlights stories about the peacock in Indian history, folklore, music, religion, and popular culture. We've also traced the motif of the bird, and these motifs are found on various objects: lamps, plates, jewelry, textiles, and these objects, which we found in Dakshin Chitra's incredibly large collection, we've displayed in the Kadambari gallery in Dakshin Chitra. And we've also created a lot of thematic installations, art installations to accompany these objects. So this exhibition, which is displayed here at Kadambari Gallery in Dakshin Chitra, is on view till the end of this month, 30th of April. So if you come by to the museum, do catch it, let us know what you think. So we've also organized several online and offline talks and workshops to accompany the exhibition. Yesterday was the first talk of the series, and today is our second very important and relevant talk. And it gives me incredible pleasure to introduce the talk and the resource person for today. So the topic for today is the Indian Blue Peafowl, Ecology, Behavior, Threats, and Conservation. It's an online lecture by Professor Sathyanarayana. Now, Dr. M.C. Sathyanarayana is a retired associate professor with over 35 years of research experience. He taught in the Department of Wildlife Biology and Department of Zoology at AVC College in Mailadurai for almost 30 years. He's given several talks on the blue peacock, about the blue peafowl. He's corrected me multiple times about their behavior and conservation. He's also given talks about the peacock's presence in Sangam literature, which is a talk he's also going to do for us next week. So do come back for that. He has numerous publications to his name. He's contributed to seminars, books, journals, conferences, and he was actually the chief guest at the inauguration of our exhibition on April 2nd, and we're incredibly thankful for his presence here today. And he's been very enthusiastic and supportive since we first got in touch with him. And he's just a great lover of the peacock, as you will see. And so I'm really happy to hand it over him to the talk. So this conversation, his presentation will happen first. And then if the participants have any questions or queries, you can type it into the chat, or you can ask the resource person at the end of his presentation. I request all of you to keep your videos and your audio on mute and not play your video. Towards the end, when you're asking your question, please unmute yourselves and you can ask your question. So thank you so much. I hand it over to Professor Sathyanarayana.
Okay, good morning to everybody. And also, I'm very thankful to Dr. Sandhya Kannan for having introduced me to this participant. Could you just share my PPT, Sandhya?
Yes, so you can start sharing your PPT. So you can begin.
Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible. Yes.
Oh. So already Sandhya introduced me. I am MC Sathyanarayana, retired associate professor from the Department of Zoology and Wildlife Biology, AVC College, Mailadurai. Because in 1981, this is the college where we have started 2-year full-time MSc in Wildlife Biology course, where in which at the end of the second year or the fourth sem, we have only the field work. There is no theory paper. All our boys, they have to go to the forest areas in any area of the country, and then they have to choose an animal. They do the wonderful field work. That is the unique nature of this course. For your information, I am just informing you and can also inform to others. There is a college who is offering this MSc in 2-year wildlife biology. Okay. Now I'm very glad that the Dakshin Chitra has organized online talk on the Indian Blue Peafowl, Ecology, Behavior, Threats, and Conservation. as a part of the Mayura celebration of the peacock. Then I had an opportunity to inaugurate the museum as a part of the celebrations. And I'm also at this juncture, I thank Dr. Deborah Tyagarajan, who was my best friend. I know her for the last 40 years, just up 35 years. I met her during the inauguration on the 2nd April. It's a very, very great moment for both of us. And I'm also very glad that the interns, they have organized a very nice exhibition on the peafowls or the peacocks. And you may think that it's only exhibition. No, as a wildlife biologist, as a biodiversity conservation, I looked at the other side of the coin. What do you mean that? Actually, this exhibition is an awareness program. What kind of awareness? It is just fabric or the motif? No. Or your collection? No. This is for the conservation. And telling the people that this is the importance of the peafowl or the peacock. And ultimately, you are giving the conservation education program. That is very, very essential. So like that, I congratulate this Mayura, the exhibition team, for having thought of this. And really, you are doing a wonderful job in the name of the conservation. And when you talk about the exhibition, other things, this is an awareness program. So always for the past 30 years, I put this slide. If you are thinking of 1 year ahead, plant paddy, okay, or the rice. If you want plant for thinking of the 10 years, what you have to do? You have to plant the saplings or the plant trees. And if you want to live for 100 years, educate the people. That is why I congratulate the Dakshin Chatra interns for having organized the museum. And this is one of the awareness programs. Now coming to that Indian Blue Peafowl in scientific name PAVO status. Now today I'm going to talk on the ecology, the behavior, the threats they are facing, and how to safeguard the population. Not only safeguard the population, to propagate the existing population. That is the concept of the conservation. Now, how I got this interest in this peafowl studies, when I joined the ABC College in 1981, actually what we have to do is, and for the 4th semester, we have to act as a supervisors. As a supervisor, first of all, I must know what is the nature of the peafowls. If I suggest to my student, first of all, I must know whether in that area the peafowls are there, is it feasible for the project work for them. So first what I did when I was just traveling from the Tiruchirappalli to the Srivilliputtur in order to assess one of my students, just as Joshua's Jain PhD program. Then that time my Indian Blue Peafowl attracted me because in Pudukottai district, all the villages, we have the peacock. That is why I entered into that. And actually this, after all my experience, this actually after retirement from the ABC College 2010 and 2011, 12, 13, I have joined for UGC Emeritus Fellowship at the Department of Zoology, the MDS University, Ashwin, under the leadership of Professor K.K. Sharma. And we go to the field. This is the I stayed in the village, very, very small accommodation, very, very minimal facilities. And this is the village atmosphere. We go to the field work. This is what we require from the field biologists. Now, all of you know very well that why you give importance for the P4, and this attracted me, the population is attracted. On the other side is this a national bird which has been declared from the year 1963. Now, people used to talk about the peacock. See, you all know about the peacock. Actually, as a science, what do we say that peacock only for the adult male? The adult male is known as the peacock, whereas the adult female is known as the peahen. Together, peahen, peacock, together called as peafowl. Because people used to ask peacock. Because when you talk about the female, it's a peahen, whereas the male is a peacock. Together, it is called the peafowl, right? Now, when I go into Sangam, see, we talk about the science and modern days, we talk about conservation, we do a lot of field research work. But 2000 years back, if you look at the Sangam literature, all the poets, you know that out of 473 poets, we had 73 poets written poems on peacocks. It's a wonder. And I was shocked to see that already in 2000 years back, our poets has describe, how they just describe, how they written the poem. Unless otherwise they have not observed the peacock carefully, they will not written. So they have given the different names. They have observed the body parts, head, crest, head, neck, eyes, neck, back, train feathers, or you would say tail feathers, or the eye feathers, bottom, and eggs, colors, whatnot. Calls, they observe everything, and they went into the poem compared with the human beings, and like that, we have 15, not only Sangam literature, we go to all literature, maybe Kannada, all these things, we have so far 15 different, it is very easy. So far, before going to Sangam literature, I think that we know about only peafowl, peacock, and pavok status, that's all, my. But when I got to the, like, I did one or two, Agipusam, Andril, Aravare, Sadregam, Imai, Kalavan, Tegayam, Mayuram, Mayogam, Menadam, Pili, okay. A second day, like that, we can go on study. There are 59 names. It's a wonder of our Sangam literature. Now, actually coming to this topic, and why I put this picture, adult male, I'm going to describe the salient feature. Okay, why you want has salient features? I have seen number of pictures wherever we have the, they have changed the color. Of course, this apart from motif, but you know very well as an artist, you are all the interns, all of you know that the motif entirely different. You just have an artistic way that is not the original way, and it's imaginary one. But whereas here, what I want to tell you is that if you want to have a peacock or the peafowl, have observed all the salient features. Don't change the structure, don't change the color. That's what, as a scientist, I require, or a naturalist, I require. Now coming to the other thing, it's a shining blue. Look at this shining blue. You have the green color here, and the lifespan is 20 years. Male peacock. It's a male. It's a peacock. A band from, if you look at it carefully, a band from nostril to eye. Look at this. Here we have the nostril to eye. There is a band. And below the eye, you have white patch or under the eye. It's a white patch. You have also tufted fan-like crest. This is the crest. This consists of several fine feathers ending in blue-green fan. Look at these colors. So as a biologist, as a field biologist, naturalist, conservationist, one has to look all the salient features. Then only you appreciate the beauty of the animal. And if you look at the bill, the gray in color. If you look at the wing coverts, see any feather which covers the underneath the part is called the covert feathers. So these wing coverts, they are black in color, finely vermiculated, they are white in color. So this is the wing feather. The brown color is the wing feather. So the wing feather is covered by these feathers. So this is called the wing coverts. Leg. The legs are pale brownish. The spur is very important character feature to identify or to differentiate between the male and female. Female, they have the spur. This is called sexual dimorphism. One is the feathers, the color. By the external appearance, we can just differentiate between male and female. This is called scientific sexual dimorphism. Okay, morphology structures different. Spur is present in the case of males. One interesting thing is that the males or the peacocks, they have elongated, a beautiful, ornamented feathers called train feathers. Here I want to tell you that most of the people think that it is a tail feather. No, it is not the tail feather. It is known as the train feather. The train feathers are covering the tail feather. So actually, originally the tail is here. Look at this tail, differentiate the tail feather is permanent, shorter. Okay, people is confused with the tail and the train feather. So in Tamil, say wall togai. All of them think that it is a wall. No, it's not a wall. It is a train feather of togai, tail feather. And all of you must remember that what I'm telling you is a train feather is very different from the tail feather. Look at the train feathers. I told you ornamental feathers. They are extremely elongated, covert feathers. Each male, one adult male, consists of 150 feathers. In this train, you have 150 feathers of different variety. Very beautiful, oscillated eye feathers. If you look at the eye feather, we have two broad rings, blue and brown color. There is a blue patch in the center. You have the surrounding that is a blue color. And there is other variety of the train feather is the off moon feather, which is the elongated one of all the feathers. Other one is the sword type. Now look at the arrangement of these train feathers. When they are in a display, when they are dancing, look at the eye feathers here. And you can look at the arrangement of the sword feathers. See, the sword feathers are fluffy in nature, they're thick in nature. It has to hold the entire feather. That's a very, very thick, the borderline or your foundation. It should be. See how nature has gifted. So this is what we say that the off moon, you see the off moon one, elongated one, very elongated one. We say it's the functional morphology. In biology or in zoology, we start functional morphology. What is the function of this morphology structure? Structure and function are two inseparable factors. And we go for ABC of life is that the environment, function, structure, or the eternal triangle of life. So what is the function of these feathers? So when they're not displaying, the elongated one I told you, off moon feathers, they will only fall on the ground, but not the ornamental oscillated feathers or the sword feather. What is the functional significance? Why it is there? Because the elongated feather actually protects from the damaging of this beautiful feather. That is the functional significance of moon. What is the functional significance of this ornamental feather? In order to attract the females. The sword feather in order to hold the weight of all the feathers. So this is called functional significance or the functional morphology in science. You may wonder that whether our Sangam poets like Kambar, whether they have observed the behavior of these peafowls. Yes. In literature, if we go that, they have given different names for this train feather: Saranam, Sigandam, Kundal, Chandiram, Kalabam, Pili, Tongal, Tuvi. So I will discussing in the next lecture on the peacocks in Sangam literature. So we are discussing about the peacock or the male one. You are going to discuss on the peahen or the adult female. So this is what symbol is. And look at the female structures. Head is brown in color. Look at the head, brown in color. White band above the eye. Bill is brown in color. Side of the head and throat are white in color. Entirely different from the adult one. So here I want to tell you that people used to tell that the peahen is ugly or there is a lot of adjectives. Now I'm very sorry as a biologist. There is no adjectives. Don't use the adjectives, bad or good, because chapati may be good for something and chapati is bad for something. Bread is good for somebody, chapati. So this all food item. So because don't use the adjective, there is no ugly or those things because everything is beauty. And I also seen some advertisement in along with Hindu and bald and beautiful. So these are the adjectives. So you may not the value of the peahen, the peacock. The male knows the value of this peahen, his partner. Unless otherwise there is a peahen, how can you get the beautiful peacock? The male one. See, that is the one we have to give importance. So I know that someone forest after long back, 30 years back, and she told me that Sathyanarayana that they got me one ugly peacock. I told her, madam, it's not ugly peacock, it's actually the peahen. Okay, so that's why I want to tell you that people should not just consider it as a, you have to give equal importance for the peahen, the peacock, don't on the external features. Look at the upper parts of the peahen, brown, faintly mottled. That means spotted. Look at this. See, each character you have to observe carefully. I'll always tell them whenever there is any whatever celebrity like maybe Vijay or Trisha, whoever it may be, Milha Jasmine, and Shah Rukh Khan, what will you do? We observe everything from top to bottom. What is hairstyle as a gents? What is shirt? What is wearing? How he acts, postures, like ladies also, long hair and dress culture. This all you observe carefully. For animals also kindly observe each and every part is you can only enjoy the beauty of the animal. Lower neck is metallic green. This differs from the other. They are blue in color, whereas it's a metallic green. Tail is dark brown. Tail, both the male and female have the tail. Belly is buffy in color. Buffy in color. Now you know that we can differentiate between a male and a female. You are able to differentiate between a peacock and peahen with these characteristic features. After the breeding season, they lay the eggs and they incubate and chicks hatch out. But when there's a chicks of 10 days old, it's a very, very difficult to sight. I tried several times to sight the field, but very, very difficult because female protects its chicks very well. It will be in the bushes because wings are not developed that time. The wings are not developed that time. How can I observe that the presence of the chicks only by indirect way? It is called the natal feather. You'll be able to see white feathers, small feather. This is called the natal feathers. When the chicks are there, we can view only the natal feathers white in color. Okay. And after the 15 days, before 1 month, they become a juvenile. That means wings are developed, and we can see motor wing feathers like this. Feathers are like that. It is called juvenile stage. One is this chick stage, where we have the natal feathers, and we have the juvenile, which is different from the chicks. At the chick stage and juvenile stage, one cannot differentiate between a male and female. We cannot differentiate. They are similar in structures. Okay. Look at the subadult male and subadult female. You can differentiate at this stage. You have dark brown bird with a buff. You can tell the bluish neck, and you have the crest, which is blue in color. And female, subadult female, you have brown color, white, and you have greenish one. We can become fully not developed green color, and the spur is not developed very well. So we can differentiate at the subadult and subadult male or female very well at this stage. Coming to distribution of this before, it is distributed throughout India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. Already told you lifespan 20 years. And as far as status is concerned, based on the population, it's a least concern because they are not in endangered status. What is the habitat? Look at the habitat. We can observe, we can cite these Indian Blue Peafowl of the status in all the forest areas like Mudumalai, Bandipur. We can have village croplands like this, village croplands. We have good processes crop in the villages. These are the villages which I took. These are the Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary, where we have the Masalagudi area. This is scrub jungle. Even when we visited Mudumalai, there is a Teppakad where we used to stay, where we have the wood house and Abhay all those places we can cite the peafowls. Now we are coming to the behavioral aspects of this peafowl. It is social in behavior. That means they are the group living animal like us, like group living animals. The group consisting from up to 22 individuals in a group. The female, you have the juveniles, which I took in the 2011 in Viralamal area. I request all the field biologists or those who are interested in photography, record in your camera date and time so that you can authentically say that I have cited this at this stage. And when I went to the 2011 at Ajmer, where we have cited all the bachelor group, very interesting. So out of the non-breeding season, what will do? All the males, they form as a bachelor group like us. So bachelor group, because when you have a youth, college days, all those things, all the bachelors group, they won't mingle with the old age people or young, children. So this is called all male group, very interesting behavior. So when we study about behavior, we use the term ethology. Ethology is study of the behavior of the animal. If you study the behavior of the animal, you are known as the ethologist. So I also consider that I'm one of the ethologists who study all the behavioral aspects of not only people, the other animals also. Resting behavior, yes. Peafowl, they rest after 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Early morning, they start doing activities, different activities. Then when the sun is very hot, they will go and take rest like this. Say, rest on the trees. Another behavior, the preening. See, they maintain very well their feathers. This is called the preening behavior, removal of the ectoparasite, which we used to head louse or the fairness. So we also maintain our hairs to remove the head louse. So they do continuously the preening behavior. Then running. People used to ask whether people are able to run. Yes, they are excellent runner. So just I showed you, even the adult male with the 150, 200 feather of the trained feather, they used to run very well. I tried once, very difficult task to go with them. They are very good runners. They also drink water and they're able to fly. People used to ask whether they're able to fly. Yes, it's capable of like 50 meters, 100 meters. They can from the ground to the top of the tree. They can go, even coconut tree, they go on to roost. They can fly. And when they cross the river streams, they can able to fly. So people able to fly. When you talk about the people, it's a very interesting to know about the feeding behavior. In science, we talk about foraging behavior. Feeding behavior is otherwise known as foraging, F-O-R-A-G-I, foraging behavior. I used to go to the field. My students guided me for MSc biology from 1981 onwards, and they observed the animals feeding. The people go to the cropland, especially the paddy field in the villages of the Pudukkottai district, because we have chosen the Pudukkottai district villages. There are 43 villages where our students, I also went to the field, and we observed that they usually feed on the paddy. They also feed on the pearl millet, we say kambu in Tamil. They also feed on the ragi or the finger millet, pearl millet, finger millet. They love to feed on the sesame, the yellow, onion. They pull their onion plant and from the ground they eat onion. They love to eat on tomatoes, chilies, and cotton buds. Groundnuts. They pull the groundnut like onion and eat the groundnut. In addition to the plant matter, they also feed on the animal matter. Why they have to feed on the animal matter? In order to get the protein-rich food. Animal sources are the protein sources. They eat on the black ant. Why they have to prefer the black? Other also other insects also they feed. Mostly they feed on the black ant because very easy to feed forage. This is called, we talk about the optimal foraging theory. What is the optimal foraging theory? If I want to obtain the food, I have to search, I have to obtain the food, and I have to get the energy. With the limited energy for searching, for obtaining, I get more of the energy from this forage. That is called the optimal foraging. That is why people chooses feed on the back end very easily can be picked. Whereas the left, like for example, they want to have the left for other insect, very difficult to catch them also. So they have to spend a lot of energy. That's what we observed in our research program. It may be very difficult to cut or to kill the peacock or the peafowl, a male or female, and see what are they eaten. It is not allowed as per the wildlife act, as per the biodiversity concept. What we do is, if you are not able to observe directly, we collect the droppings. This is called the droppings. The stools of the peafowl, the birds are called the droppings. So these are the droppings. We can differentiate between male and female. So this is the male dropping, and this is the female dropping, cylindrical bone-like structure. And what we do is, we collect them in the field, we dry it, we bring it to the laboratory, college lab, and we dry it, and we just smash it under the Martin pressure. Then we separate all the remains of this with the hand lens. We are able to get the husk from the paddy, and it has taken the rice, digested, and insect parts which are strong enough, the body parts, your black ant, legs, head portion, mandible. These are parts of all the insect pod which are not digested. Because they are not undigested, the undigested remains of this, we are able to get the pain. We assess the feeding behavior, the foraging behavior. In addition to this food item, they also take grit. Grit are called sand particles. The kalava manal, okay. Now perum manal, we say perum manal Tamil. This is the sand particle grain they take. Why they have to consume grit? In order to get minerals or in order to digest this paddy or grind the paddy. Grit. Why do they have to consume the grit? Look at the anatomy of this. If you read the internal parts, you have a gizzard. Most of you studied in the your biology portion, the school level. This is called the gizzard area, where the food, your paddy goes there. And because paddy husk is there, it has to be separated. Like if you go to what is the paddy, you take a rice mill, you separate the paddy husk and the rice separately. And most of you not because you're all eating right. And most of people are not knowing nowadays the paddy, the seeds also, because you are only consuming rice. Okay, this is the paddy, and here it is. Gizzard takes place like your rice mill, and it separates the husk and the rice, and rice is consumed in that way. Whenever we have the husk, we have 90% to 98% of the husk in our pellet. So we say that it's a granivorous bird. It mostly depends on the grain, and animal matter only 1 to 5%. Okay. The next behavior is that the roosting behavior, excellent roosting behavior. All the peafowl, male or female, after their activity, day activity, evening hours, after 6, they go the tall trees. Okay, they go to the top of the tree and they stay there during night time. We have to wait in the roosting site. By go there by 5:30, that wait, and while they climb, we should not disturb. I take the photograph and they stay there. And next early morning they come on, because this is called the bedroom or the sleeping room called roosting behavior. Whenever we have roost site, it is called the rooster tree or roost site. I am going to talk on the very interesting behavior. Is called the breeding behavior or display behavior. Most of you know about the dance of the peacock, dancing behavior of the peafowl. Peafowls are polygynous in mating system. That means one male chooses more than one female. It may choose 2 females, 3 females, 4 females, and it is called the polygynous. Polygamous is general term. Polygamous means one male may choose more than one female. One female at the other end, one female chooses more than one male, so it is called the polygamous. If it chooses, male chooses more than one female, it is called polygynous. On the other side, a female choosing more than one male, polyandrous. Mating system, one female pairs with many males like this. During the breeding behavior, where they display, where they dance, not all the places. They will choose a place to display, to exhibit their special character, the male. This is known as lick. The area is a specified, a small area chosen by a male peafowl or the peacock in order to display. This site is called lick, L-E-K, lick. Because this is choosing this area, it is called lick behavior. Okay, what is the character features? Where they select the lick behavior? Not all the places. What are the character features of this lick? Peafowls establish a lick. A lick is a small territory maintained or defended by each male. These licks are used for courtship display during the breeding season. In this lick, they perform vocal, visual displays, very important. They have elaborate displays, which is one of the character features of the lick area. The peacock, very interesting observation is that the peacock choose a traditional lick or a display site. They won't change. At the same time, the peacock also chooses or maintains more than one leg, multiple legs they maintain. Because one place they display, when the female moves, they go to the other leg and they displace us. 1 minute, 1 second. They will just males maintain the multiple legs. What is territorial behavior? Coming to the territorial behavior, the legs are close to each other, involve territorial conflict. If there is an overlap in the leg system, for example, one male chosen, there is another male going to choose the or chosen the leg. But if there is any overlap, they will have some conflict. It is called territorial conflict behavior or the territorial, see like that. See here, this I have taken in the one of the villages of the Virali Malay, where we have the two males just have a conflict. They fight like this. Now, what is the other feature of this leg area? Males prefer open place, very important. They should not be very, canopy should not be very 100%. They should be open to have an increased visibility. But I wonder, what is the intelligence of this males choosing a leg area, choosing a display area? See, this is the ecology, this is the animal behavior. See, it could be very amazing and it's a fascination. That's why I enjoyed teaching animal behavior. More than 2 decades, really 29 years of teaching the animal behavior, and also I have also just went to the field and enjoyed the behavior of this animal, not only people, other animals also. And other thing is aggregation of the females. That they choose the display areas, like area. Without female, what the use of dancing at the display? So they know very well the presence of the peahens are very important in this leg area. So leg mating system is again captured by a transitory association. This leg is not a permanent one. The male and female meeting place, it is not a permanent, it's a temporary or transitory association. And one important thing is, during the leg behavior, display behavior, the males never guard or protect the female. They never bother about female. Whether they eat or not, whether the enemies come, they never bother. Okay, during the leg season or the leg behavior. The females visit these legs. Why they use the display sites? Females also very intelligent. In order to examine, in order to monitor, in order to assess the male's physical strength for the purpose of fertilization. The males, they will do the display behavior, they will go on dance, so all the physical features to the female. At the same time, peahen chooses the best partner after comparing, after visiting all the legs, not only one leg. The females are very intelligent. They will go out the wanderers. I'll tell you later. See like this. You can see this picture. See the females just move on, wander. They won't choose immediately. They will see the physical strength. Another interesting behavior I observed in the field. These legs are interconnected. See, this is the one leg area. This leg is interconnected, the paths. This is the path. Here one path, here one path. Why they have chosen this area? These are the traffic routes used by the peahens or the females when moving between different legs. The females, they will wander during the breeding season. They immediately won't choose the one male. Whenever the male is just dancing or display, it will go on as if it is not looking at them. They will study everything, the assessment. The examination is very perfect by a peahen. All the characters, all the behavioral aspects of the male, they will just observe like us, like human beings. You know, as a, if you have a girls or whatever it may be, you used to observe all the male characters. Male also observe all the female characters same time. And this is one important character feature or the significance of the leg. And during the display, the males perform a stereotype display called the strut. The strut means stiff erect. See, when no display. I have showed you one picture. The trained feather is just touching the ground. Whenever they have sighted a peahen like this, a female, it will strut, it will erect. Okay, from here to 90 degrees. Okay, this is called strut or the stiff erect. During this period, they exhibit different courtship displays. They also make sounds. That's called visual. They will also vocal in nature. Why they have to make sounds? In order to attract the peahen. Though they display visual, they will not give, oh, look at me, oh, my friend, oh, my mate, look at me, oh, my girl, look at me. I'm just dancing, display, you're not looking at me. So they will make some sounds. So this is called male advertising behavior. Adult male perform display, fanning, train in front of others. This is called fanning. We call this fanning. Seeing a peahen approaching, this is the peahen, female is there. Peacock lifts its train. A cluster of long tail called train spreads like this. It spreads, extending down to the ground on both sides. Very important. During display, it will extend to the ground level. Not only that, they want to extend. What will do? Wings drop, but the wings are dropped here and takes a few steps. They will turn in 180 degrees. They will go on display, turns abruptly, leaning forward towards female. So it will go to the nearer to the female. Look at me, display. Look at my physical strength. Why you are not looking at me? So they will go nearer and they will just turn before that, turn 180 degrees. And they also give rattle sound, like that. Not only that. And I used to compare this display behavior in ecology. This is called male. Have you seen the Swayamvara? Sita and Rama. Why they have this Swayamvara? All the people come there, or the princess. What they will do? They will show their physical strength by way of this, like this sword, arrow, forward arrow. Why they have to show? Because they have to protect the entire kingdom. Like that's why this I compared with display behavior. See this thing, what they do better. So this is the Swayamvara done by a lot of males, and in the Swayamvara, the peahens participate. They choose the male like Raman, Sita. Now, what interesting thing is when they will display, very interesting thing, very big question mark. What is the period? Display activity on a lake begins at first sunlight. By 7 o'clock, the sunlight is there. So that's why I recorded the date and time, 7:38. When I go to the field, I record my date and time. Trained feathers, they have the iridescent blue and green with the eye like a spot. Or what is the iridescence? If you take you can also take a peacock feather like this, and it will gradually change its color when you change the angle of the view. In the sunlight, you can take, in the sunlight, you have different angles. Now, what I did is, I took the sunlight in the house, I took this, I took the photograph. You can see when you change it gradually, the angle, the gradually color is also changed. So, gradually changing color, an angle of view or angle of illumination change there. What is the significant? What is science behind it? And when I'm going through the literature, during this Sweden University, there's a scientist called a Shanghai scientist. He is a physics professor. He took the feathers and he found out there is a two-dimensional crystal-like structures. You are studied about the crystalline property in the physics. So what is the crystal property? You know very well. The feathers put bright color produced not by pigment, but by tiny two-dimensional crystal. Each feather you can have thousands of crystals. You take the crystal, observe under the microscope, you are able to see the three-dimensional view of this picture of the feathers. And coming to display, I told you early morning and April to October in the Tamil Nadu, especially in Pudukkottai district. And during from April it start, and peak is the August month, September, October, November, no display. And people used to tell that during the rains, before the rains, it will actually display. Actually, no, this when you go to the field science, it will have a August month, it ends during the August the peak, then it comes down, September, October. You know very well in Tamil Nadu, September, October, November, monsoon for us, rain is because rains They cannot because there is no sunlight. Okay, I told you during our observation, during morning hours, we have frequency 30 times and evening hours only 5. That means maximum during the morning hours when they have the sunlight and display. I observed up to 4 minutes to 120 minutes. Two of us, one in Natakadu village in Pudukode district, I observed for 120 minutes going on displaying if you are not disturbing the animal. And what is significant leg behavior and display behavior? Science. What is scientific behavior? Lecking behavior enables peahens to obtain their best genes, benefit from mating with the most attractive pea. The males, they have the physical strength and for the purpose of why they choose the male. They will observe the physical strength for what purpose? For the purpose of fertilization, in order to obtain the best gene. That is the biological significance of the leg and display behavior. Not like just they're choosing the leg area and the display. There is some functional significance or the biological significance of the choosing a display area of the leg or displaying different ways, vocal or the visual communication behavior. They have different calls. This called displaying male gives a high pitched call, kyong, 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 and kind of call may function as a territorial clan. Just I will, for 1 minute, I will play the audio. Say kyong, 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 kyong. Okay. Now, the one interesting observation that mating behavior mounting. They are also involved in the mating of the male and female, like this, which I took in the Ajmer area where we have the Kayan village. And why about this mating? They used to mate because they have the controversial things in the literature, other things. People say no mating. Peahen swallows tails of peacock like this. No, it's a misbelief. And they also lick sperms of peacock. Now people thought this is the sperms. Actually, it's not spit. This is the uric acid. When they're displaying, the male have the dropping. This dropping village that they thought in the Tamil Nadu, I inquired them, sir, that will bindu. They say in Tamil bindu, the sperms. This is called the uric acid. They thought that this is a sperm. The peahen, they lick and they conceive. This all misbelief. After mating, the peahen lays the eggs, 4 to 6 eggs, creamy eggs, and 3 to 4 times more than the chick egg, hen egg. They incubate like this. They choose the nesting site, the bushes, ground nesting bird, not on the trees, ground nesting. After 28 days, hatch out. The chicks are there. I told you, chicks are different from the juvenile and the subadults are the adults. We have the natal feather, it's called at birth. We have the white in color like this natal feather. And then they will develop the juvenile feathers. Then they develop the subadult and adult. The male do not involve parental care. Very interesting. Only females involve the parental care. So this is called parental investment. This is called parental behavior of the peafowl, like this they group living. And after the breeding season, after the display, what happened to these feathers, the trained feather? Shedding of feathers take place after the October. All the damaged feathers, the wear out after dancing, lose its functionality after displaying. So there's no need. The adult male sheds. This is called shedding period, like this. I observed in the December, when February, slowly from October it slowly sheds. So in Sangam literature, I observed as a peely. They're termed as peely. Peely means in Tamil natural shedding of the feathers. Peely. Now you can ask me whether it will come or regrow. Yes, after shedding, it will regrow like this. See this? It will just grow in, it will come up once again. Now the trade, with regard to trade, also people have a conflict of views. In the Sangha literature, I've gone through that. This is one of the economic activity, the exporting of the peacock feather in the western to the western world, mostly from the Madurai, Orayur, Parakai, Almirated western world, generated a substantial amount during the Sangam era. So because there is the villagers, they know very well, it sheds every year. They collect the feathers from the roosting sites, from the all the feeding sites. They will give it to the hand over it to the ice seller or jaggery seller, and this fellow take to the wholesale merchant in the Virale in the Pudukottai district. He will send it to Chennai, other cities. This is what the trade is going on, and there is some controversy whether the trade is continuing. Yes, I published an article in an international newsletter imposing a ban on the trade in peacock feather. Is it a wise thing or not? So in the Kambaramayana also peacock feather sold in Bazaar Street. The trade should be continued because otherwise it should become the waste. I'll come to law and what are the threats? Now coming threats. We have the monkeys there. Usually they drive by driving just to take pressure. We have the mongoose where they go to the chicks level and also eggs they go on trade. There are the dogs, village dogs. They will just drive them. And there are cats. We will hunt the juveniles, other the younger stage. And this is a very pity that you know that they already told you the peacock they damage the crops, and because the crop damage is there is a conflict between a farmer and a bird or an animal, and whether it's elephant or not. It's called human-animal conflict, human wild animal conflict, or human elephant conflict, or human peafowl or peacock conflict. What they will do? They will apply the poison to the seed. They will sow it. They will just throw it. The ignorant peacock, whether male or female, they come and consume that. They will die. It's called the poison. So farmers sprinkle the pesticide applied. I think that is what I observed or not, that the peacocks, the males are not killed for their feathers, for not putting poison, and kill is only for the damage the crop. And there are reports that they also hunt or they poach the peacock for the meat. It's a misbelief, and the poachers also arrested by other forest officials. The other threat is the conversion of the highways to the village lands or the villages in the Virale area, 4-lane, 6-lane, and roosting sites are lost, and the village croplands are gone, real estate, and also all the trees are gone, roosting site. And in the course of it, Jurifera, Faruai, Malaga, they have converted to the all the damage and put the coal for the tea shops in the for our boilers. They use the traditional tea shop fellows. And who is responsible for this tragedy? It is the man. It is you and I. We are responsible for all the tragedies for the people. And coming to the conservation, it will take a few minutes. And the conservation, there are animal protection laws and prevention. I used to address this. How many of us are aware of this legal animal? We never bother of the legal issues. How many of us, even the zoologists, even the biologists, they do not know, they are not aware of the present existing legal law. That's why I always emphasize that as a citizen of India, you must know this law, Constitution of India, 51AG. It is the fundamental duty of every citizen of India to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have a compassion for all the living creatures. How many of you know about the 51AG? We never give importance to laws. And legal protection, peacock. Peacock also given legal protection under the Indian Wildlife Protection Act, 1972, Schedule 1 of Section 51A. What if this section says that? The Section 51A forbids killing and export of the peacock train feather. It's a very unfortunate, even in the law, government official record, it's put it as a tail. It's not a tail feather, it's a train feather and other item. So like this, farmers are arrested because of the laws. We have imprisonment up to 3 to 7 years, and we have a fine up to 10 years. And you know that when I got into the literature, in King Asoka also given legal protection to peafowls. He never allowed consumption of the meat of the peafowls. Now this is the trade, but trade in peacock feather, the killing for the purpose of meat export, it's a ban as per the Wildlife Act. Whereas the trade in feather cultivation in India, just for information, the Section 42(3)A, Section 44, Section 49A allows the domestic trade, not for the foreign trade. Whether for articles, if they're naturally shed, otherwise our economy goes waste. You should be there, it should be continued. That's why I emphasize the villagers are collecting from only shed feather. bundle. I told you each peacock feather carries 100 to 150 feather, train feather, and it sheds every year. Otherwise, it become weather. So we can just collect it, and the trade should be continued. As far as my view is concerned, there are two views of opinion whether trade continue or to ban. So it's a naturally shed feather. Already told you. Now the villagers in the Pudukkottai, they never harm the people. They have the dummies, scarecrows. These are the scarecrows. The model of the person dress are the mannequins, and decoy of mannequin, and they scare the birds like this. And audio tape, they were using those days. We have audio record tape, highways, caution tips. They will just install. And we have the modern, like the Auditor Society of India, Hyderabad. They suggested we have a reflective ripple. This is a reflective ripple, and where we have the like this, I used this reflective ripple to the field work, and I have also suggested for the farmer like this, both white, silvery color, and install it during sunlight is there. It will just have a shining thing so that it will drive the peacock. And the villagers also give the audio bird scarer like this. Take a plate and beat it. They have a sound. They drive this farmer. And other thing is the conservation. We come about the religious aspect. The places like Mailadurai, this is called the Mayavarai earlier, Mailapur, and we have Mailam. These have been named after the peacock, so given importance for the peacock. And we have the religion, Vahana for Lord Muruga, we give the importance, and for Krishna, we have the peacock feather. And the roosting trees also protected. They are called sacred groups. The Ficus bengalans, all the roosting trees are actually protected because of the religious sentiment. And also we have the stone carvings. We have the peacock stupas of Sanchi, UNESCO World Heritage Site, built by King Ashoka. And we have all these sculptures. They are also making out models of the animals. And we have the wooden work, which I have, and courtesy to the Untitled Chapter Heritage Museum, where I went on the second airport. I excellently exhibited their collections. And one more thing, how many of you know the peacock throne, Mayurasana? This is a famous jewel throne, seat of emperors of Mughal Empire in India. You can see on the top of this, the peacock. In Sangam literature also, they have mentioned about the existence of the peacocks. Another thing, here also courtesy to the your Dakshin Chitra Museum, Heritage Museum. And very interesting is the Gonda painting. These are paintings, the tribal art. Wonderful tribal art. They have also done on the important people. We have the paintings on, this is called the theorem. I think the internals of the Dakshin Chitra know about the theorem painting. They have the collections of these, what is the metal, and also we have the stamps. In the stamps also we have Government of India has released stamp in order to have conservation of the people. And you look at this, the ancient Skandagupta in the Gupta period, they have the coins in the peacock symbol. And in Indian Government of India also we have the two annas. See, we have not seen annas. Where we have seen annas, those before your rupees or whatever the price say, we have annas. In the currency, we have the 10 rupees, we have the peacock here. And we have the folk dance. We have the peacock dance, which we also just I have enjoyed by our Dakshin Chatra group. We have the peacock dance, traditional dance, Kavadi Attam we have, by which we educate them. See, what the purpose of this? We educate people that the importance of the, I'll take one few minutes here. And also we have in the songs also, Tamil songs, Mailarage, Maila Pola, if you look at Togai. So these are the give importance for the male. And also we have the peacock in Punjabi songs or Hindi songs. We have the kids music, nursery rhyme, male part. We have in Hindi also more part song. And I must also lastly I thank the during the Mayura celebrations, the Dakshin Group Heritage Museum for organizing have an excellent exhibits, museum, their collections. And also I have also courtesy to two girls. We have just shown me the year starts on also. And what is the purpose of the exhibition? Don't think that it's only exhibiting. See, I will tell you that confidently, you have entered into the conservation of the biodiversity. These interns have entered into the conservation of the peacock. That's why always very happy that not like just exhibiting. You enter the awareness program. The number of visitors will have visited already your exhibition. I have seen, I have also heard and people from the museum, and also this is the one awareness program taken up that, and I thank all the participants and also organizers, and also Deborah Thagarajan, the leader of the group, and also Sanjay Kannan was very much interested in all these things, and I wish a good luck to have a very good internship during your period, and also thankful to my ever memorable Indian Blue Peafowl. Because of them, because of the study, I'm able to talk and live very actively because of the field studies. Thank you very much, Sandhya and others. If anything, you can ask.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to everyone who's been here. So someone's asked in the chat if they can have your email ID. So I have your Yahoo ID. Can I paste it in the chat?
Okay.
Sure.
Just read it. Somebody is raising.
Yeah. Professor Uma.
Professor Uma Shankar.
Yes.
I think it's unmute your.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much for giving.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much for this wonderful experience of your sharing with us. I just came to know about this talk from somewhere and I attended it, and it's a wonderful talk and your experience. Maybe sometime I would like to invite you for your talk for our students in future. That is why I want your email address, or if mobile number also, if you can kindly share. I'm really thankful to you, and would also like to read your publication, sir. I am a professor of botany at Northeastern Hill University in Shillong in Northeast India.
Oh, very good.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a good day ahead, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Okay, does anybody have any other questions or queries? If not, we'd like to close the section. So you can stop sharing your screen.
Oh, I stopped. Stop.
Again, a huge thank you to everyone who's been here on a Sunday morning. And I know today is also a festival, I think Ramanavami. So I appreciate everyone who's here, and I'd like to thank Professor Sathyanarayana for his talk. Like I said, he's going to be doing another talk on the 16th about the presence of the peacock in Sangam literature. Very interesting, very unique. So if you're interested, please come back. It's the same link. It'll be up on our social media pages as well. Have a message. Sir Uma Shankar has sent his email ID. I will forward it to you.
Yeah. You can just.
Okay. And someone's asked if the talk will be available on YouTube. The talk is recorded, but no, it will not be available on YouTube. You can access it from Dakshin Chatra, or you can ask Sir for his PPT or presentation if you'd like. So again, thank you, sir. Thank you to everyone. Have a great day ahead and good luck. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.